Welcome back. It is time to hit some week 6 picks. Another great week on tap for college football. We get 55 straight days of football between college and pro starting tonight, and that's just awesome. Week 5, slightly down week, but we're going to keep going. Let's talk about week 5 real quick. Miami team total over 36.5 was a win. Washington plus 2.5 loss. Oklahoma State plus 5.5 loss. Oklahoma State, Kansas State under 56 was a loss. BYU Baylor over 44.5, that's a win. Indiana team total over 29.5, win. NC State minus 6.5, win. Navy minus 3.5, win. Liberty minus 3.5 was a void. Louisville, Notre Dame under 46.5 loss. Louisville money line loss. Oklahoma, Auburn under 45.5 loss. Ohio State minus 23.5 was a win, but then Alabama, Georgia under 24.5 in the first half with a loss. It was a 6-7-1 week, down 1 unit. Year to date, we're 40, 43, and 3, down 5.14, but it's time to get that back. We start on Thursday night. We got Texas State and Troy. Troy defense, I think, is going to be able to slow down Jordan McCloud a little bit in this game, forcing Texas State to use the ground game more. Still, Troy's going to be able to move the ball on the ground. They've done that this year. Neither team's been solid in the turnover battle. Both are sitting tied for 86 in turnover margin this year. It's going to result in a tight game. Take Troy in the points. Troy plus 13.5, minus 110 on MGM. We got UTEP and Sam Houston on Thursday night. Sam Houston's been running well this year. They're 10th in the nation in rushing percentage. They're sitting with 4.6 yards per carry this year. They're 13th in the nation in rushing yards per game. UTEP, 90th in the nation in rushing yards allowed. And per attempt this year, they're also 111th in overall against the rush. UTEP, 92nd on third down conversions on defense. Sam Houston, 44th in third down conversions on offense. Sam Houston is going to control the ball. Sam Houston, minus 10, minus 110 on Hard Rock. Moving to Friday night, Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State offense is not good, but the Jacksonville State defense has been dreadful. Kennesaw State should be able to score some in this game. Still, Jacksonville State will be able to run in this game. They may have some big plays in the passing game as well. Regardless, this is going to be a lot of points. Jacksonville State probably is going to cover, but with some short fields for both sides, we're just going to take the over on this one. Over 48.5, minus 110 on Fanatics. Got Houston and TCU. Houston, solid defense this year, but they haven't faced an offense like TCU yet. TCU, 18th in the nation in points per game, sitting 15th in yards per game. They're also second in the nation in passing yards per game. TCU is going to move the ball against the strong Houston pass defense, but TCU will also be solid in the run as well. They're going to score a lot of points. Still, Houston should score something against a bad TCU defense. I like this one to go with the over. We're going to take over 50.5, minus 113 on Profit X. We got Syracuse and UNLV Friday night. UNLV defense is strong this year, but they've not faced someone at the level of Kyle McCord. McCord is playing well, doing a solid job spreading the ball around. Still, UNLV has a running game, which is how Stanford beat Syracuse. They rely heavily on their two backs, while Ashton Daniels, the quarterback, was able to make play. That's for Stanford beating Syracuse. The biggest concern for Syracuse this year has also been turnovers. Kyle McCord threw 2 interceptions in the loss to Stanford and now faces a team that's third in the nation in turnovers. The Stanford recipe is how UNLV is going to put up points against Syracuse. Still, the best play in this game, over 58.5, minus 110 Fanatics. Moving to Saturday, got UCLA and Penn State. While UCLA defense has been bad, the offense is dreadful. They're 117th in the nation in points per game. They're 123rd in yards per game. The Penn State offense has been great this year. For UCLA struggled on offense. The Penn State defense has been great. Penn State's going to dominate. Take Penn State, lay the points, minus 27.5, minus 110 on MGM. Moving to Missouri and Texas A&M. Missouri's had an extra week to prepare for this game, but they've struggled in their last 2 games. Texas A&M has also struggled in their last 2 games. Different in this game, though, is going to be Brady Cook and Luther Burden. While Texas A&M has been good at creating turnovers, they're not going to be able to slow down Burden and the Missouri passing attack. I like Missouri as my moneyline dog of the week, plus 115 MGM. Moving to SMU and Louisville. Louisville offense been based on the run game this year. While Tyler Shuck can pass well, the running game's the primary form of offense. They are facing a stronger SMU defense. Still, while SMU's been better with on offense at the quarterback change, they haven't faced an offense like Louisville. They haven't faced a defense like Louisville. I think they're going to attack the pass, which is the weak spot of the Louisville defense, but still, Louisville's the better team. Louisville minus 6.5, minus 110 MGM. Purdue and Wisconsin. Purdue offense, awful. 122nd in the nation in points per game, 116th in third down conversion. The defense, worse. 129th in opponent points per game, 95th in opponent third down conversion. Wisconsin offense, not great. 95th in the nation in points per game. Still, they've got a solid running game. They're 67th in the nation in rushing yards per game. They face a weak Purdue defense. Take Wisconsin, minus 13.5, minus 104 on FanDuel. Pitt and UNC. Pitt's been great on offense this year. They're 12th in the nation in points this year. They're sitting 9th in passing yards per game. North Carolina's lost 2 straight. The first one, the defense was awful. And the second one, the defense started strong and fell apart late. How Pitt's offense has been playing this year, they're going to be able to score. Take Pitt, minus 2.5, minus 110 on Hard Rock. We got the first battle for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, Navy and Air Force. Navy, offense has been great this year. They're 6th in the nation in points per game. They're 2nd in rushing yards per game, 2nd in yards per play, 2nd in points per play. Still, the Air Force offense, they're awful. They're one of the worst in the nation. They are 4th in the nation in rushes per game, but 43rd in rushing yards per game, 94th in rushing yards per attempt. Navy does not have a great run defense, but it's going to slow down Air Force. Air Force cannot slow down Navy, though. Navy, minus 9.5, minus 109, Bet Rivers. We got Auburn and Georgia. Georgia struggled in the first half this year. In the games with Clemson, Kentucky, and Alabama, Georgia scored 16 total points in the first half combined. The defense has been strong this year outside of Alabama. Auburn does not have the same level of offensive talent as Alabama. Still, Auburn should be able to score some in this game. Georgia's going to get the win, but it's going to start slow. Auburn, plus 14 in the first half, minus 124 on DraftKings. Moving to Ole Miss and South Carolina. Ole Miss struggled last week. The offense struggled to complete drives and score. They're going to face a tough defense against South Carolina this week. They're still going to be able to score better than they did against Kentucky. South Carolina's going to rely on the running game, but that's the strength of the Ole Miss defense. Ole Miss allows just 1.5 yards per rush. Ole Miss is going to be able to convert third downs. Take them minus 9, minus 108 on DraftKings. Moving to Coastal Carolina and Old Dominion. The odds in this game have definitely favored Coastal Carolina. The two defensive units are very similar. ODU's a little bit better in points per game against. Coastal Carolina has given up less yardage. Still, there's a major difference in the two offensive units. Old Dominion, 94th in the nation in points per game, 104th in yards per game. They're also 80th in turnover margin. Coastal Carolina's 45th in turnover margin. The best pick in this one, take Coastal Carolina, minus 5, minus 110 on Caesars. Then we're going to finish up with Tennessee and Arkansas. Arkansas's awful. Tennessee's been dominant. Arkansas struggled when they get off balance on defense. Tennessee will make you off balance on defense. Further, Tennessee defensive line is going to dominate this Arkansas offensive line. Tennessee, minus 13, minus 112 on Bet Rivers. Let's recap. We got Troy plus 13.5, Sam Houston minus 10, Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State over 48.5, Houston TCU over 50.5, Syracuse UNLV over 58.5, Penn State minus 27.5, Missouri money line, Louisville minus 6.5, Wisconsin minus 13.5, Pitt minus 2.5, Navy minus 9.5, Auburn plus 14 first half, Ole Miss minus 9, Coastal Carolina minus 5, and Tennessee minus 13. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. Definitely let me know how you did, and we'll see you next time for our next Top 25.